Any kid growing up with Star Wars toys loved playing with an X-Wing. Well, let's look at the X-Wing he didn't get to play with. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to take a look at an X-Wing starfighter that we almost got if the line and Kenner didn't get canceled. And we'll wonder, where is it today? Now, you might hear some noise in the background. Some fool's been out there cutting the grass for the last hour and a half. I tried to wait them out, but the 8 o'clock deadline was coming up fast. Sorry about that. I don't know why anyone will want to cut the grass on purpose. So let's talk about this X-Wing fighter, the Tandem. Is that right? Yeah, Tandem X-Wing. That's what the computer told me it was. Tandem X-Wing fighter planned for a 1986 release. What is a Tandem X-Wing fighter? Well, first we have to discover what the word tandem means. Again, I hope I'm not saying it wrong. I'm sure if I am, you'll let me know in the comments below. And I'll be honest with you, I had to look up this word. I never heard this word before. And in short, it means a bicycle with 2 seats on it. I always just called it a bicycle with 2 seats on it. But the official name is a tandem. I guess it could have other meanings also. And you'll see in a minute why this is called the Tandem X-Wing fighter. Now, let's go back to Kenner 1985. They were planning to keep the line going. They were already starting to look at 1986. They didn't have a new movie to promote a line, so what was Kenner going to do? Well, they were going to shake things up with the Epic Continues line. That's right. They would take a whole new approach to Star Wars, kind of EU. And we would have gotten a Grand Moff Tarkin action figure. We also would have got an official Bantha. Yeah, not one of those custom-made ones like this one. Ooh, I agree with you, Retro Blasting. That thing looks like it sucks. Give me a call. We'll talk about it, make fun of it. So, in 1986, they were planning this whole new line, kind of like an EU. I did a whole video on that, and if you guys want, I'll link to the end of this video so you can watch that one. So we won't go over everything. But it seems what Kenner did is they put up a binder of their plans for the Epic Continues line. And there were a lot of things in it. Most of what was in it was stuff that was already released that they could carry over from the movie line to this new Epic line. And then there was some concept drawings of stuff they would release. Play sets, ships, and a lot more. And in this binder was Luke Skywalker's Tandem X-Wing fighter. But there was a catch. Sometime around the late 90s, early 2000s, this binder was found. It seems that a collector bought it from a Hasbro employee who used to work for Kenner back during the Star Wars days. And there it was. We got the pictures of the concept art, plans for the new line. But page 21 and page 22 was missing. What was on page 21? Well, according to the page that showed the table of contents, it was Luke Skywalker's X-Wing, and we can guess this was just the normal X-Wing being crossed over to this line. What was on page 22? Luke's Tandem X-Wing. The only 2 pages missing in this binder was those 2 pages. So it looked like we wouldn't get a look at this Tandem X-Wing fighter. Well, actually, we saw it before this binder was found. Let's go back to 1995. Mega collector Steven Sansweep wrote a whole article about this expanded universe line that Kenner was going to do, and it appeared in the 1995 winter edition of Star Wars Galaxy issue 2. Now, doing my research, a lot of people said that this was in Star Wars Galaxy Collector's Edition 2. I don't know if that's the same magazine, if they did like a collector's one or what. I never heard of Star Wars Galaxy Collector, but most of the references refer to it as just Star Wars Galaxy. I did look them up, and there's 2 different magazines, but the one most credited to having this article is this one right here. And a big shout out to Jeff over on Twitter who got me scans of these magazines because I couldn't find them anywhere on the internet. And then about 5 minutes after he scanned them for me, found it on the internet. Isn't that how it goes? Anyway, back in 1995, Sansweet wrote up a whole article about this expanded universe line and showed some of the prototypes and concepts that were in this binder. Now, in this article, he talked about how there was a Kenner binder, and he had some photos that was seen from the binder, some concept drawings and some prototypes and stuff like that. And right there on the middle of the page at the top of the article was the Tandem X-Wing fighter. Now, as you can tell from this photo, they look like I did some work to make it look like it was flying. But this was the first time we ever saw this Tandem X-Wing fighter. In fact, it's the only time we've ever seen it. Now, just a few years after this article appeared in Star Wars Galaxy is when a collector bought the binder from a former Kenner employee. Again, with those 2 pages missing. Ever since then, since 1995, No one has seen this Tandem X-Wing fighter. Is there a prototype of it out there? Very unlikely. But what about this photo that Steven Sansweep had? Did he see a whole different binder that had all the pages? Well, it looks like he got it from someone from Kenner. At first I thought maybe he just had a custom and he took a picture of it for the article, but this was 1995 and there would have been no customs of it to take a photo of, and he wouldn't just made a custom just for the magazine article. So this seems like the real deal, although again some special effects was added to the photo to give it that flying look. I wish they didn't do that. Now there have been a lot of customs made of this Tandem X-Wing fighter, and they look gorgeous. They're really great looking customs, unlike this Slave Leia. Call me Retro Blasting. We'll talk about how goofy that is. Hey, we can make a video about it together. Anyway, there were some customs of this X-Wing fighter out there. Take a look at them. As you can see, they look really nice. And it also makes you wonder, hey, will they do a different pilot, being that this thing had 2 seats? Will we finally get maybe Wedge? That would have been kind of cool. Now, I did find a Spanish website that showed page 21 and 22, the missing pages. Once I was able to translate the text on this page, I found out that these were just mock-ups. Someone just made pages of what they thought it would look like in the binder. Now, let me check my Twitter really quick. No reply. Okay, I sent a tweet out to Steven Sansweep to see if maybe he could shed any light on this. Maybe it's in his collection. I don't think it's in Gus Lopez's collection, and that guy has everything when it comes to prototypes. But that's a look at the Tandem X-Wing fighter we would have gotten. A 2-seater X-Wing! Who would have thought of something like that? That's just crazy. Now, I did love the snow speeder, and it had a 2-seater in it also. One in the front, one looking in the back. I loved it. It was great. One of my favorite toys as a kid was the snow speeder. So, maybe this would have been kind of cool too, but honestly, if I was a little kid in 1986, I would have said, that's not in the movie, and I would have kept walking on past it. And I don't know, the color just seems kind of odd. I don't know why they painted it. It looks like a Lego. I don't know why they made it look like that. But anyway, that's a look at the mysterious Tandem X-Wing fighter. Tell me in the comments below, would you have loved to got this? Would you like maybe Hasbro to make it now? Well, if they did, it'd probably be $300, so let's not hope for that. Anyway, I want to thank you for watching. Thumb up if you like my content. Subscribe to the channel. We'll talk again soon.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.